Hi everybody, welcome to Paranormal Connection. You may have seen Joseph Ernest Martin at psychic fairs or at the San Francisco New Living Expo, but tonight he's in the studio with me and he has brought the most magnificent, beautiful, creative tarot cards that he's designed. Joseph Martin is a tarot card reader and a psychic, and I am very, very pleased to have you with me tonight, so welcome.
Well, thank you, Donna. I am just thrilled to be here tonight.
Good. We're gonna cut to the chase. We're gonna go right into these beautiful cards that you have designed yourself. But first, I want you to tell me a little bit of how this venture started. What made you decide that you wanted to create your own deck of tarot cards?
Well, you know, I jokingly, like to say it's mainly because of my big mouth. I was at a psychic fair working, and across from me there was this woman working, and her booth was there, and I walked over to her, and I said, "I'm so proud of you." It was Nancy Matz. And I said, "I'm so proud of you. You wrote this book, Nancy." And she said, "Do you want to write a book?" And I said, "Oh, no. But I've been thinking about doing a tarot deck." And she said, "Well, what is stopping you?" And I thought for a second, well, I guess I'm stopping me. And she goes, "Good. In the next 2 weeks, I want you to design one card." And I thought, I'm never going to see her again, but I can design one card in 2 weeks, make it my own personal challenge. So I did. And it was actually the Ace of Stones was the very first card that I ever designed.
Well, I'm going to show this to everybody at home because this is just exquisite. This is just absolutely beautiful. So tell us a little bit about this card. What does this card represent?
Well, stones in my deck represents commerce, business, money, things on the earth plane, earthly concerns. And I didn't, intend to start with the Ace of Stones, but I went home and I thought, well, I'll just design a card. And so I actually designed the card almost the way you see it right here. Very little has changed in this card from how I originally did it. Now, when I did this card, I took it around to psychic fair, showed my friends and other co-workers and said, well, what do you think? What do you think? And people said, well, we kind of like it. So I thought, well, maybe I'll design a couple more cards. And so I designed 3 more cards during the next 2 months, took those around, and then people responded really nicely. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to design a real deck. I'm going to do the whole thing.
Well, one of the things that's interesting about your cards is you've incorporated other things like astrology and the I Ching. And why don't you tell us a little bit about all the things that you've got going on in this one card?
Well, no, on the aces, aces are really about time in the tarot. They're the time indicators for the tarot deck. And so in this deck, here you have a clock face, and you have 3 months highlighted. So the Ace of Stones has a primary time indicator of December, January, and February. And if you're a reader or psychic and you don't like looking at numbers or a clock, you can simply look to the season indicator over here, which shows a picture of that season generally.
Okay. So Do you want to go on to the next, or you have
Oh,
some more
sure.
stories to tell?
Oh, well, one of the things about my deck that is very, very different than other tarot decks is in the major arcana, it adds a 23rd card. Now, the major arcana has to do with major influences energetically. It has to do with major karmic influences in a lifetime. And it's also considered to be like the Fool's Journey, so that you have the Fool as the 0 card, and then you have cards 1 to 21, total of 23 cards. Now, this is the 23rd card of the major arcana. You notice it's also a 0 way up here, and that's because the zeros cap each end of the 21 cards in between. This card is a multi-dimensional card. It's the multiverse. Now, historically in tarot, the last card was the Earth card. It was the World card. Then our concepts expanded that we live in a universe. And so popularly, the end card became the Universe card instead of the World card. I felt the Universe card still had a lot of merit, but I felt that next to the universe was the multiverse, the multi-dimensional doorway to parallel and multiple universes.
Which is something that we're starting to gain more knowledge about as time goes by. There's all kinds of discoveries being made, and this is the buzz. This is what's going on. And
This is what's going on.
You're just right on top of it here.
And you know, the tarot isn't a static medium. It's not carved in stone, meant to be this way forever and ever. It's a living medium. It's a changing medium. And as we learn and grow and change and embrace the multiverse that we live in, our divination systems need to grow and change and embrace also. You know, one of the other big changes in my deck, the Quest Tarot, is the court card system. In traditional tarot, you have king, queen, knight, and page, starting with the male, the king. However, we're in the Aquarian age now, and in the Aquarian age, the feminine leads.
Did you hear this, woman? We're in the feminine age.
We are. That's why the guys are kicking and screaming right now when we have war and fighting and corporate things, because the guys don't want to let go of the reins and let the women lead. So in my deck, it starts with the feminine first. It starts with mother, then father, then daughter, then son. We're going to be in this age for around 2,000 years. Though I promise in around 2,000 years, I will reincarnate and do another deck with the male leading once again. So even in my deck, we have this different archetype that starts. This is one of the court cards.
Okay.
Now on the court cards, it has a couple of features that are very, very new. One is a yes-no indicator, which you see by these daggers here at the very top. Now when both daggers are up, it's yes, down, it's no. To the left, as you're looking at the card, means answer lies in the past. To the right, it means answer lies in the future. And if one is up and one is down, it means maybe, you know, 50-50, mezzo-mezzo. Now, it also has eye color indicators, hair color indicators, skin color indicators, gemstone indicators on the card. And so you can use the court card system as a way to see into people. Now, most of the figures in my deck are gold or silver, or they're gemmed, or they're crystal. And that's because I wanted the cards to reflect a broader ethnic spectrum than just, you know, Protestant America or something. I wanted it to, you be able to use the cards whether you were American Indian, whether you were Swedish, whether you were black, whether you were white, anything.
Great. Green.
Or green.
Okay, so if I were to get this card, if you were doing a reading for me and I were to get this card, what would you say to me about what's going on in my life with a card like this?
Well, you know, the cards are read in their position in the spread.
Okay.
However, the energy of this card, which is the Father of Wands, has to do with intelligence and thinking and planning. This is someone who plans and thinks and builds the Great Pyramids. This is the one who puts it to paper and writes the book. That's why he's sitting on this giant book. But there's also this connection to family and home. And so you have objects from the home here, and even a little cat and a little dog hiding in the bushes. And so it's someone who loves community, loves building and planning, and loves the bigger structure of life from an intellectual perspective.
That's me.
That's you.
That's me.
You know, this card right here is really an amazing addition to the tarot also. Now, I know you're probably looking at this card right now and you're thinking, well, it's blank.
Well, I keep going because this is going to be fascinating.
Well, you know, I designed a blank card originally in the Quest Tarot because I thought if I thought there should be a multiverse card, then maybe you think there should be a card called Rockstar.
Yeah.